grew up on Texas country, red dirt. Do you see a difference? And this is, you know, if you play out of state too, do you see a difference of playing in, you know, New Mexico versus Texas, or, you know?
Yeah, I really ain't a whole lot of playing in New Mexico. I got to come over here to Texas.
I don't have the honky tonks.
Yeah, it's quite a deal over here. It's kind of just a thing of its own there, you know.
Yeah, I feel like it's easier to get used at too, because, you know, especially down where we're from, you know, you got Fort Worth, you know.
Fort Worth is stacked in there. I mean, there's tons of places to play around Fort Worth, but you got all those college towns like down south, Brenham area, and there's tons of stuff. That San Marcos area is rich with places to play. You definitely got a lot to play in Texas. Where I'm from, straight.
Yeah, if you could draw on the younger crowd.
Yep.
I feel like that's the thing, you know. It's hard to, especially with y'all style of country, you know, when I think y'all, you know, I'm thinking 90s country.
Absolutely.
And it's hard to, you know, I can see the younger generation starting to get into it, but it's definitely making a comeback, you know. It's a tough group of people to get.
Absolutely. When a little different kind of pretty song when I put it up, and probably hold my beer, both of them. When people start listening to them, that's the main comment I got is, man, that's like that 90s country. Man, this is like, brings back that 90s country sound. And it was young people. That made me, exactly what you're talking about, made me feel good. Because I think the younger generation is so, you almost gotta have these drums and these peppy little beats and just, it's like the phones, you know, you gotta have, well, you know, your social media, you get 2 seconds to get their attention. Well, if you don't got them in 2 seconds, they're gone, they're going to the next deal. And you don't have time to sit and explain it. They're not gonna listen to a good story, so you gotta figure out a way to catch them. But that was refreshing to see them comment. That sounds like that 90s stuff, and it be a young person making that comment. That was a good feeling, because that's exactly what we're trying to do. You're trying to catch
Yeah, it's tough. And I've noticed it too, everybody likes change. Like, I don't know why everybody wants to change it. That's like in life generally, you know?
Yep.
It's funny because things always go out of style, like clothing and fashion and stuff, but it always comes back around. So like with the pop country now, with like Morgan Wallen and all that, I feel like that's slowly gonna fade back out, and all of the 90s country is coming back. Why do you guys think, like specifically with the younger crowd, why do you think they're so attracted to it? Is it the cowboy hats? Is it the, you know?
I think, you know, we were in a conversation earlier about people do want to be, they do want to be country. There's people that have never done a country thing in their life, but they want to go to the Fort Worth Stock Here. The first thing they do is go buy them a hat and some boots and an outfit. They want to fit, they do like that. And there is a certain bit of heritage in our country that I think people admire dressing and trying to be it. You know, a lot of people probably don't have the capability to, but it makes them feel good.
Yeah.
And I think the younger generation is really, I think it's cool again. I think it's becoming cool again, and that's the thing, because the girls, you know, you go to these little bars and they got their little boots on and cute little skirts, and they've got their neat little tops and decked out with their little hats. So I think it's cool to be country again, and that's refreshing.
I was thinking, you know, it seems like there's a hunger for authenticity.
Absolutely.
You know, and true, real songs, you know, about real life. You know?
Absolutely.
I think that's, you know, hadn't necessarily been the case in a long time.
Oh, yeah.
I just think there's a hunger for that in the younger generation, and it's cool for me to, when I get on TikTok, you know, I meet up with Haggard and Jones and all that kind of stuff, and see some young little thing on there, you know, do their hair. My favorite memory or something like that.
It's trending.
Yeah, that's absolutely awesome.
Hey, Johnny Cash said country music always comes back to his roots, so hey, it's coming back. I love
It
it.
absolutely does. There's a lot, you're talking about girls using it for their little modeling. That's kind of like what took off with the different kind of pretty song they do. Western Outfitters, the NFR stuff, the girls are doing a little modeling thing, and that little toe kick thing. I don't know what they turn in the mirror, do a little kick back. I ain't never figured that thing out, but I think girls tried to explain that to me the other day, and I still can't understand what that's all about. But everyone will do it in their mirror.
It gets you talking.
It does. It did.
That's the point of social media.
Absolutely.
It gets you talking.
And I don't know what, you know, this is something I think about all the time. And I don't, you know, I I guess my expertise when it comes to music, I know a lot of music, right? And I just love, I'm a music guy. But, you know, I think it's strange. You know, I went back and looked on Google. Back in the 80s and 90s, you know, like Eddie Rabbit, for instance, like, he would come out with 2 albums at 1 year, or maybe 1, you know, and I feel like nowadays, you know, with all this AI stuff, people are just pumping stuff out, you know, and, you know, I know why they do it. Like, let's say if you know, Gavin Adams, right, he came out with a #1 hit and it's on fire. Well, they're, you know, they got that urgency, like, man, we need to get out 5 or 6 songs on top and help build a platform, which I understand why, but I don't think that's a good thing, you know.
Well, it goes back to what y'all were saying, the attention spans are shorter. The songs aren't as hits for as long as they were. Like back then, the song would be on country radio, it'd be a #1 hit for weeks and weeks at a time, and that just doesn't happen as much anymore.
If you hold one for 10 weeks, I think you're
Doing dang good.
I mean, like, wow.
Yeah, that's unheard of.
Yeah, so it's,
I heard you mention the AI. You guys heard about that video of Rusty Bus or something? I don't know.
Yeah, that's his name.
I don't know, but I know what you're talking about. I know where you're headed with it.
Yeah.
I've been hearing a lot about it in the last 2 weeks.
Does that kind of
Scare you guys? Or
Who's gonna go watch it? Where's the show?
Right.
Let me know where he's gonna play. I'd love to go watch him.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's the problem.
Yeah.
You know, they
People want to see.
that's active. They do like to go. I mean, Zach Top is a perfect example. He pretty much social media brought him up to where he's at. People found him. He's doing his thing. I love that guy. I mean, I like his music, but you can go watch his show too. This AI deal, yeah, you may have a good song. Yeah, this guy's, but you can't go watch it.
There's no meaning.
Yeah, I mean, what are they gonna do?
And you can almost hear it in the music.
Yeah.
There's no depth. There's no soul to it.
Yeah.
There's nothing there except for words.
Absolutely.
And
If I go to a concert or something, I want to, you know, I want to be able to sit there. If they're singing a slow, sad song, like, you know that song means something to them. Like, they wrote it, it's hard.
Absolutely.
Well, it's like this too. You talk about Spotify numbers and stuff. I mean, at least this is just what I've been told. I don't know what y'all's numbers are, but most people make their money playing shows live. And Spotify is great and all, it does give you some money, but if you get behind an AI singer, how are you going to make money? I mean, you got to have a Taylor Swift level hit song that goes #1 on the Billboard 100 charts to make any money with it. I mean, I don't see how you do it, like getting behind somebody like that.
I don't think they should be able to, without an actual person doing it. I get the AI and the help and things like that, but without a person cutting the song, I don't see how they would let them release it.
Yeah.
And put it, I don't know why they would even put it on those platforms. It's not real.
Right.
I mean, but I don't know. I guess everybody at some point is in it for the money.
You know what my dad told me when I was little? He told me and my brother, he's like, first thing you're gonna learn is money talks, bullshit walks. And that's true.
Absolutely.
Because everything revolves around money, you know.
Well, I'm kind of in a weird spot, and we talked a little bit about it last night. You know, I write a lot of really deep songs, and I talked to you about speed. You know, they all want faster. And I like to write songs that have a lot of meaning. That's what makes me write them, because there's something going on here that I want to get out here. So, you know, if your message is country, and you wrote it about something you did, you lived it, but you changed up the way you instrumentate it a little bit to beef it up for these younger kids a few times. Like I told him, I think I wrote a song that's just gonna be killer, but it ain't nothing like the other stuff. But the message in it is, I ain't scared of nothing. And it talks about being a country boy that just jumps in the middle of anything. I ain't scared of anything.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. But it's so revved up. I'm kind of curious how people.
It's like a Dwight Yoakam.
It's revved up. I mean, just the drums. I changed everything up in it just to see if you can get those young people right off the bat with that drum beats and things like that. Just changed it. Just gonna produce it completely different. But the message is there. I'm country. There's no denying that. So how from outside looking in, how's somebody gonna say, well, that ain't country? It ain't Morgan Wallen style, but it's dang sure different. It's actually got some Genesis kind of vibe. That old Phil Collins vibe and the low back end of it, really cool song. I'm gonna play it for you sometime soon. But it's
today.
it's interesting. It's very interesting. But that's, you know, you're talking about bullshit walks, money talks, bullshit walks, And if you're gonna make big songs, you're gonna have to get this younger generation.
Yeah.
And do you make that as a country artist? Do you make that change and go into it and just listen? Because somebody's gonna kick you in the teeth a few times. You gotta take it because they're gonna say, "Oh, that ain't his country. You ain't got the violin in this part or the steel guitar in this part." Or do you just sit back and just try to ride it out and hope that they're gonna come to you?
Yeah.
I mean, some of them will, but
Well, with music at this point, I mean, what is country anymore? Because everything's getting labeled. I mean, they're saying Morgan Wallen's country. They're saying Will Bannister's country.
Yeah, we're on something here.
Yeah.
But you know, it doesn't matter if I wrote a song, you know I'm country, and the message in it's country. It ain't nothing like Beyonce. You know she ain't country. It ain't nothing like Shabazz. You know they're not country. So I'm just saying the messenger itself cannot hold enough clout to keep you wrapped into not kicking you out of what people call country. And that's the question. You know.
I think just the age of social media, it's just tough because of that kind of stuff right there, you know. But you know, for me, them songs it's all about the lyric for me.
I agree.
You know?
I agree.
And having to tell a whole story and just a little bit of, just like you said, takes your attention span. It's frustrating. You know, you want to hear the whole second verse, you know.
Well,
You gotta do them dances.
it's funny when
I can't dance for nothing.
you know back before I started the social media deal, I was writing songs and I'd lead up, you know, your verse would lead into your and then you hit the power spot, your chorus. Typical, maybe one or two verse, then get your chorus, and you try to get to that kind of real emotional point or change it as fast as you can. But when I started really studying the social media, and I probably did it, Different Kind of Pretty was one that I wrote the lines of it, the first lines of it is, she's a different kind of pretty. I completely changed the way I write the music, and I make the catch lines at the very beginning. Hold my beer, watch this. That's the first lines in it.
Yep.
And to catch people's attention on the first thing they hear.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, it just changed the way I write music.
Yeah.
It completely changed it. So I just had to flip it around a way to reintroduce the story, kind of coming into it, why I'm saying what I'm saying from the beginning, and then I tell you the story why I said that. So it changed the way I wrote music. Social media definitely changed the way I write my music. Yeah, for sure.
Well, would you say now it's more about the beat or about the lyrics, trying to hold their attention?
I can't. With those two songs, I don't really know that either one of them. I mean, just the lead off lyrics to the solo part coming in, the intro is very catchy on Different Kind of Pretty. Hold My Beer starts out with that, and it's telling you, hold my beer and watch this, you know. Yeah. So it's an intriguing line to say, and everybody said that. I mean, everybody said it. So I think the lyrics need to build the song no matter what. Yeah. I mean, no matter what I write backwards from most people. I don't know how you write, but when I write a song, it hits me kind of rhythmically and melody in my head, and I just take a writing. Then I go try to pick up my guitar and figure out how to play what I put in my head and bring the instrumentation to my lyrics. I never take my lyrics to the instrumentation, not one time. I've never written a song like that. And that's what may make it hard for me to co-write with people, because a lot of people will sit around with guitars and they'll have a word, and they'll have a word, and they'll have a little bit of lick this. That would be distracting to me. Personally, I think it would.
I mean, so how, I want to know how y'all write music, like, you're just, as simple as you're just taking a hike, driving, whatever, taking cows, and
Is it like
hear a
something
song,
that you
or
never
something
come
comes
off,
up,
or-
That, for me, a lot of times it is while I'm driving, but I spend a lot of time on the road.
Yeah.
I mentioned earlier that I hate flying, because I just hate it. But anyway, I like to be on the road, alone with thoughts, and then sometimes they'll just, the melodies or the lyrics or whatever, it kind of comes at the same time for me,
Your melody really feels your lyrics that you got in mind. Like, you'll come up with like a decent little line and idea, and that line, and your melody will fall into it. It falls right into what those lyrics are saying, the right one. Now, somebody else could get on it that's never heard what you're hearing, and it will come out completely different. So,
you gotta know how to, like, you can't just be, like she's drinking doubles, or she's actually singing all drink doubles. Like, you gotta space it out, like have a draw or something. I don't know, I thought about it.
Phrasing's big.
So you mentioned writing by yourself. That's a rarity today. Everybody gets in these writing rooms, and you know, you got 10 people on one song. Have you ever co-wrote on a song, or you all
I
write
went
by
up-
yourself?
I was up in Nashville cutting, and a friend of mine was up there, and he said, "Man, you got time tonight? I'll come over and co-write." And I had this idea in my head, and I actually had all the melody and everything. Was she's like a windmill in a hurricane, kind of a little Conway sounding to it. And he come over and shoot on him. I was like, hour and 15 minutes. We banged that thing out. And I was like, he's like, dang. Wasn't expecting to walk in, just like you're saying. The funniest thing to him was he's up in Nashville, and all these people, all these super duper musicians and whatnot. He walked in and he said, dang, you already got half of it written, and you got the melody already? I said, yeah, let's finish it. And we finished it in an hour, 15 minutes. And so, yeah, I mean, I can see it, but usually to take off with a good idea is a good thing, I think, when you walk in the room. Somebody has something strong, and you can throw ideas around. Like if you know, me and you came in, you said, hey, I got this little idea here for a song, and it's great. And then talk about the idea I got, take off with the one that you think hits best, and I can definitely do that.
There's no telling. In all seriousness, if we were to all just sit around, campfire, talk around, have a good time, there's no telling, we could probably write some pretty good songs.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt.
Just getting
No doubt.
everybody,
Absolutely, no doubt. And growing up inspires you. A couple weeks ago I wrote a song about, this is modern, here's this modern day deal, and it really talks about, you spend your whole life just chasing money, almost, trying to make a living. You got to.
Yeah.
You got family, you got kids, you got to do that. But, I'm going out of town and work again, and spending all this time in this truck, and I can't wait to come back, drive back through my hometown, put this phone down,
Yeah.
and walk on my own ground. And that's what the song's about, and I cannot wait to cut that one. And I wrote it about 2 weeks ago tomorrow. So it's getting rid of that cell phone, getting rid from all the stuff that we're talking about.
That's why when I go to the Greenlees, it's the most boring, to any normal person, Greenlees, they would absolutely be bored because there's no TV or any
Yep.
cell phone signal. But to me, that is that's vacation.
My dad says his favorite part of a vacation is shutting his work phone off. He said that's the only reason he'll take a vacation half the time is to shut that off.
We're trapped by it, but it's also, look what we're doing. We got 3 of them going right now. And it's part of our tool. It's part of what we're doing. Social media has done one thing. It's given guys like you and I a way to get our music out there. We have to figure out really unique ways. And I was talking to Star last night about the social media and getting the views and whatnot. And, it's funny. You got to be fidgety in those videos. You can't. If you just go sing a slow country song, very seldom are you gonna get much traction on it. But if you'll get out there and just start doing crazy stuff, and I hope my beer's a good one to use for that, because you're always doing something stupid anyway. You do something stupid, it's gonna get used. That's just all there's to it. People, comedy has changed in the last 20 years. You remember back several years ago, 20, 30 years ago, people would get on stage and they'd tell you jokes and everything. And it was funny, like Rob Schneider back in the early days, even Eddie Murphy. He was wrong, but back in those days it was just comic and humor, and they tell jokes, and then comedy changed with the show called Jackass.
Yeah.
Stupidity became the new humor, the new comedy. It really did. You think about it.
Well, it's like
That was an era that movie changed what people saw was funny. You could go tell these people some of them old dad jokes they wouldn't even allow this younger generation. They're like, that's stupid.
Yeah,
They give you that look. They want to see people hurt themselves, stabbed, shoving stuff in areas that don't need to be. That's humor now. That's the comedy.
we'll see a car crash just like on TikTok. You want it's that quick. You don't want to be in it, but you want to watch it.
Yeah.
You want to have to quit.
I want to try that. What's that thing they did? The bull poker.
Oh
You're in
yeah.
the arena playing.
Yeah. That'd be good.
That'd be good.
Yep.
Well, think about comedy. I love old music. I love old movies and TV shows like Andy Griffith Show.
Yep.
That comedy there took real talent. It's not just filthy.
Yeah.
If you sit and watch that, or Beverly Hillbillies or something, it'll get funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It took some creative
Yeah. Absolutely.
there to do that,
But it's easy to make a fool of yourself.
Yeah, it's just or telling me.
Back then it was telephone.
Yeah.
But what was kind of the I'm gonna be a musician factor for you guys? Like, where was it? Like, I'm going all in on this. Was it from the start, or did you? Like, I heard you talk about the job and living.
Sure.
What was the story?
Well, you want to go first? Or you want
Yeah, I go first. I was working in a welding shop here in my hometown, and found out I was fixing to have a kiddo, and I thought I ain't gonna let that. I'm gonna go do it. Of course, I always wanted to. From the time I was a little old kid, it just did my blood. Yeah, and so I took off and quit my job and been at it ever since.
Just going all in.
Yeah, I didn't want to look back, and still don't. I don't want to look back down the road and think, man, did I get it all I had? I just feel like that regret would be on.
You only get one life.
That's right.
Like, that's it. Like, people need to sit here and actually, like, comprehend it. Like, yeah, that's it. Like,
And this country we live in, that's kind of what it's built on, chasing dreams and stuff. So
If you don't have dreams, what do you got?
that's right.
try that.
Mine was totally there. It led to exactly the moment where you come to a realization that if I'm gonna do it, go do it, and that's kind of why I'm here. But starting out, definitely when I was growing up, I wasn't singing. My parents didn't sing. My dad played a little guitar. So I didn't in Vietnam, and I saw the pictures of him with the guitar, so he got it out every now and then and would play. But other than that, no real musical guidance up to that point. And then I got about 20, and just one thing led to the next. And I learned a lot about people, I guess you could say, and how unreliable they are, and how the minute money gets involved, they change, And I guess I kind of experienced my first kind of thing where I kind of wanted to get away from people and get to myself. I didn't want much to do with them. And I sat down by a tree, and I still remember it on a blue piece of paper, and I wrote a song called Kind of Sudden. And I didn't even know I could write music. But I took it into a little old guy that could play guitar, and he said, "Man, it's pretty good. You just write that?" I said, "Yeah." He said, how many songs you write?" I said, "That's the first one." "When you write?" I said, "Yesterday." And he started scratching his ear kind of. Anyway, the next day went along a couple of days, and I wrote another one, brought it in there, and I could see it was odd to him for me to never written a song to come in there and I was writing them in form. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no clue what I was doing. And I was really writing them in form. Like I said, that melody was telling me exactly how to write the song.
Yeah.
That's what we went back to. And I started writing and had no intention of singing. And I'd go into these little studios and stuff and record what I could, try to get them down. And at that time, I'd take them, mail them back to myself and not open them, to keep myself, if somebody tried to steal them, and I'd hear all this crap these days. And started singing a lot, performing a lot, and then, ended up meeting my wife, and she had kids, and I had a daughter, and I was like, I owe it to them to give them the best I can, try to get ahead. And the words broke musician always bothered me. And it kind of spooked me a little bit for a while. And I said, I'm going to go try to do what I can do. And I kept writing, kept doing my thing. Not singing a lot, but just writing. Never stopped. And then kids got old enough where I felt like I wasn't going to be leaving a lady at home worried about me doing what I'm doing and can't carry kids along and that stuff. It's just all those things bothered me. So I made up my mind a year and a half ago. I said, look, I got all this other stuff done. I got those dreams handled. Let's go for this one. And this is the last one I got. And if I get a really big one and God take me the next day, I don't care. I've achieved it. I'm out. And that's led up to where I'm at right now. So I'm gonna go wide open.
I think it's all about experience too.
It is. You meet a lot of cool people. I mean,
It's all about connections.
Absolutely.
That's what I was telling you last night. I'd rather, if somebody offered me, I've had management, you know, they'll offer me $1,000 or whatever to promote some song. Or if it starts about marijuana and all this, you know, inappropriate stuff, like, you know.
You wanna believe
So,
that.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get an opportunity to hang out with you guys or, you know, meet Shenandoah and watch, you know, it's about the memories.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
about being dickhead doing it your way
Sure.
instead of just, you know, taking the easy way out and signing with somebody who's gonna take everything.
Right.
So,
And you know, you always want to, everybody, if you do something that really just jumps out of the box, it's so different, people are going to dog you for it right off the bat. But if you just do everything everybody else is doing, you're the same as everybody else. How do you stand out? You have to stand out to be different. And the only way to become your own thing is to be different. So there's so many things. You're going to get destroyed no matter what you do. If you're doing really good, they're really going to tear you down, you know? And that's just people. And
I mean, that's what I tell people, you know. People ask all the time, social media, you know. And I tell people, this is anything in life, whether you're a singer, influencer, whatever. There's 3 things people are going to look for. 1, you may be attractive, right? You know. Number 2, your personality. And number 3 is how you act. You know, we're all human, right? We're all the same, but there's always that one little thing about everybody that is different. And once you get to that point, I mean, people are going to find you, and that's how you grow.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
See yourself.
we're like, you know, overnight, a couple million people might find you, so you gotta watch
Yeah.
you know, what you do. I mean, which is kind of springboard off of that. The age of social media, going viral is easy. It's made the music industry a little, you know, it's a little looser and easier for the new generation. Y'all got any takes on that? Like, just, y'all had to grind and play shows. Now it's post a video from your couch playing on an acoustic guitar.
Parts of it are, you know, it's kind of, like I said, the last night I sleep in my bed was the night before last. I won't see that bed till Saturday night. I leave here tomorrow morning, drive to the house, switch bags, load up a different truck, and head north. And some of that radio station to radio station, radio station, radio station, that's how the old school did it. So I liked it. I'm getting to do that and grind that way, just like Merle and all them guys had to go, and then mix social media with it. And that's pretty cool to me to go do it.
Yeah, I've never heard of that's the first time I've ever heard of a radio tour. But you know, I got to look and paying attention on social media. Hell, everybody does it, but it's, you know,
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing. I think it's pretty neat.
Yeah,
And think about it, probably plays into your favor because a lot of these people that blow up overnight sign that nice little paper for a couple $1 million, they don't know what they're getting
Well,
themselves.
They don't.
here's
You know,
one
the industry
thing.
now.
Here's one thing you need to keep in mind too is, you know, I don't know anybody personally. I mean, even me. You know, back home, yes, I listen to the radio because it's what I like. You know, but 99% of people, they got Spotify, Apple Music, like, so. You know, your radio crowd is your older people, I think. You know,
absolutely.
and that's how you draw them.
They're loyal.
Yeah.
Once they like you, they're loyal. That's what I really, I do know you're catching what I'm talking about, mixing the social media with that. You're going to catch that older, loyal crowd. And then it goes back to that song I was telling you about earlier. It's not changing who I am. I wrote it. And it's a country message. It's me. I wrote it exactly the way I feel. I'm going to sing it. But the daggum catchiness of it is totally different. The way I'm going to reach out and catch them is totally different. But that doesn't change that from being a country song. I mean, I'm not going to go rapping at that.
You got a little Mexican.
It's there didn't even in this one, but like I say, it's got a really weird Phil Collinsy kind of bass in the back, and it's so cool. But it talks about pretty much a cowboy. People will take it wrong, but and not being scared of nothing.
Yeah.
And that's what it says. This country boy ain't scared of anything. And it's I cannot wait to do this song, finish it. But I got it finished, written, and demoed out. I just got to get it in the studio and cut it.
Well, there's a market for all different types of music, man. You said it was completely different.
It is.
I'm sure if it's a good song, I'm sure it'll catch on in some shape or form.
Yeah, it's. I think everybody here, anybody hears it, it's just such a different take of what we're trying. To me, it's the perfect combination of what we're trying to bridge. It's a bridge song.
Yeah.
You know, of course, I'm country. You're country. You can tell when we talk.
Yeah.
There ain't no doubt. I can't even sing it out, talk it out. You know, you go pick, nobody has a question where I'm from when I go out of Texas.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be up north this week, and there's no doubt. They guess it right every time, so I know that my voice is Texas and country, and you can't get that out of it anyway, so it's gonna be a country song no matter how I do it.
Yeah, that's what I tell people. I don't know any different.
Yeah, it's inevitable. What are you talking about? I can't.
Honestly, you don't see that often. Like, you know, everybody, you know, on the radio singing, like, there's very handful of them that have a country accent.
Yeah.
Back in the day, everybody had to sound like hillbillies.
Absolutely, they were, because they were. It's no, I don't know the big trick to getting the slow songs to where you can get people listening on. I think if you got some that you can catch them with, and then they'll go to your stuff. You pull them to them.
Yeah. Like a deep track kind of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean that's
well,
like.
Zach Bryan, he's all about slow, sad songs, right? I remember everything, like, just songs like that. But he started with Revival. It was rowdy. It drew in a crowd. And then that crowd is kind of broken and sad because everybody who's rowdy has a little heartbreak in their life, right?
Yep.
So then, you know?
Relatability
Yeah,
in music
exactly.
is a big thing. You know, if you get people to relate to it, of course they're gonna like it.
Sure.
But you gotta get them to listen to it first.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta let them know it's there.
Yep.
And that's the real trick. I mean, I think probably you and I write as good as songs as anybody. You just gotta let people gotta know it's there.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I got a question. So, you know, there's a couple artists and songs I know. I think his name's Ken Holloway. He was 90s, but he had a hit, right? He came out with a song. I love it. Like, it's dang good, but you can't find it on nothing. Like, he was, you know, it was back in the 90s, so it wasn't like TikTok and stuff. But like, if you were to cover that song, I mean, how does that work? Like on an album or?
You'd have to pay some kind of licensing fee or something, you know, to cut another song like that, a cover song, I think.
Cause they get percentage or?
yeah,
like,
if
'cause
he
what if
wrote
it blows up?
if he wrote it, he had nothing to worry about if he's got it, you know, sent in to BMI or whatever. But
Cause I'm telling you, with the technology that we have nowadays, I'm telling you, this song is brand good.
yeah, the technology's crazy.
You're good?
But he shouldn't have any problems going and covering it. Like if you're singing it live, you shouldn't have any problems with it. And you know, that'd probably be kind of cool to talk about it, sing it live, and see how people react to it now. And then if they did, really, you could probably start working on. I'm sure you'd have to make a few phone calls to somebody, you know, your family or somebody. You know, is the guy still alive?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm like, he is like, I hate to say it, but you know, he's not a nobody, but he's like, doesn't even exist nowadays.
Yeah. Make a phone call, find him. I mean, you can find him, that's for sure these days.
Well, we talked earlier about writing by yourself. When you write by yourself, you get more money, correct? Because you're not having to split it with 10 co-writers and all this, and you're recording it too.
Everybody wants a hand in, though. I promise you. From the
Oh,
point you
sure.
get that, you got a good one. I'm telling you, people start jumping through hoops to get involved.
Even if they just put a sentence in
They
that
just-
song just enough to get credit for it.
That,
It's
can I,
money.
yeah, well, that's the good thing about writing by yourself. You don't really have
Yeah.
that problem. You walk
Yeah,
in there, you
split
got your song, and if you, especially when you get down to the demo form where you ain't changing, you go get a producer. The producer makes his money, you know. But yeah, you can simplify it by just walking in there by yourself with your song and demoed and say, here, let's do this, let's produce it, let's put it out.
Well, have either of you recorded songs that somebody else wrote?
I have.
You have?
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that. A lot of people are, but I think for me, I just want to cut great songs, whether I'm a writer or not. So when I'm putting together, like when we put this last little EP I put out together, you know, I picked songs over songs I wrote just because I thought that's a better song.
Yeah.
Like the best song wins kind of mentality, you know. So I've got two or three songs on that EP that I'm a writer on, and I've written 150, you know, but I want the best song.
That's
That's all I care about.
That's an unselfish thing to do too, because you know you could just say like, no, it's just I got to do all my stuff. No, you're being unselfish about it and putting the best stuff out you can.
Well, absolutely, and I think look at George Strait. You know, nobody knows who Dean Dillon was
Yeah.
if it wasn't for George Strait. Because I mean, I think them guys are so talented out there. Especially, you know, I'm such a fan of the guys I write with, Roger Springer and Tim Menzies, all them guys, and it's just a shame for it not to get heard just because you're not a writer on it.
Yeah,
you know? So
absolutely.
I just love great country songs, and that's what I love to sing.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I like covers too.
Yeah.
They're fun.
If it's a great song, you'll know it too. That's the good thing about being a really strong songwriter. When you hear a song and you know it's good,
Yeah.
you know it.
Well,
There's no question.
That's right. My favorite song is a song called Forever. It's written by Jake Worthington and Roger Springer. And Roger played that for me one time when I was on the couch, and I mean instantly, the hair just stood up on my arm. I just got chills, and I'd been sitting on that song for years, dying to cut it, and finally got a chance to do it.
Yep.
And got it out. But yeah, it's my favorite. I love it. I think it's the best song written in years. You know,
A good song's a good
Great.
song.
Well, you mentioned going in and memorizing the song. How hard is it for y'all to memorize songs to go out and play and record? Because I mean, to do a show, I mean, you're playing what, 10 plus songs in a show? How hard is that to remember
40,
all
50,
those songs?
depending on how many hours, an hour and a half show, play what, 25? Something like that, yeah. If you play them enough, it kind of, this is a funny thing, your memory works really odd.
Yeah.
But, was it Meltos that stuttered so much?
Uh-huh.
But that guy didn't
Meltos?
stutter one bit when he sang, did you?
Yeah, no, tell us.
Two different parts of your brain, and your memory works off of it. So does your speech. Talking and singing come from two different parts of your brain. You know that?
I didn't know.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely.
Where it's like a muscle. Sit
Yeah,
there and remember
exactly.
a song, but I could almost memorize one in a day.
Yeah.
It
Do
just
y'all
got
have any funny stories from like early on in your career where you just like froze on stage? Or,
I
You know, just-
straight up did. I was doing the one I love back in Georgetown.
Oh,
And I got up there and I don't know what happened, but somebody did something out there and it kind of caught me funny. And I literally went right with the melody and said, I forgot all the words of this song, da, 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 da. And it ended up perfect, rhyming, and it made the whole deal. Everybody died laughing because I made a joke out of it.
yeah.
And I told him, I said, I forgot this verse in this song and started on the wrong one. And by the time I got done, it all rhymed, the rhythm then went right back into it. And went right, all I just missed was one little 2 lines in a verse or something. But that made everybody laugh. There's 400 people in there, and they were all dying laughing when it was done. So it's all how you react to it, I think.
Yeah.
It's hard to get in that. I mean, I'm not a singer, but I've noticed like when I'm doing karaoke stuff and when I'm in my garage, I get in that zone. There's like a switch when nobody's around. You get in that zone and it makes your voice sound better too. You know, it's just the
Flow
environment.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes
It's like a flow state.
Sometimes it don't kick in.
Athletes get in it.
Yeah.
Just a groove. But what about you?
Yeah, there's been a few. There was one time I was playing at a place called Dirty Bourbon in Albuquerque. This was back kind of when I was doing more of the dance hall stuff. 3-night kind of house gig there, or you know. And by the third night, I was just dead tired. And just, when I'm that way, the stupidest thing can make me laugh, you know. And there was a heavier set lady out there, you know, and she was wearing this. I was in the middle of the chair or something. I can't even remember what I was singing, but she had this shirt on that was striped orange and white, you know. And the first thing that popped into my head was a Whataburger French fry. And I lost it. I just cracked up and couldn't finish the song.
Did you tell the crowd why?
No, but my guitar player back then, he was just seething at me because he was singing back up and stuff. He didn't understand what happened, you know, it just come out of nowhere.
Have you ever had one of those songs that you like got to they were starting to play it and you couldn't remember the first word until you got to it? You're like, shit, how's this song start? You sing it a million times,
Yeah.
and you don't remember it till like, and you're like, and then bam, right when you took it, you got it.
Yeah.
It's weird, but it happens a lot.
My dad used to come to a bunch of my shows. He'll still come every now and then, you know, but he's the reason I love country music the way I do. So I'd be out there and I'd forget the words. You know, initially, when I first started, you know, if I made a mistake, my face would get hot and I'd get red and then it'd screw my whole night up.
Yeah.
But I'd be up there singing and I'd lose words and I'd look over and he'd sit there and mouth the words to me,
Yeah.
you know, and but
That's
yeah.
cool.
Now if I miss a word, that's just,
You're human.
oh well, you know.
They all
Catch
drink,
everything.
drink, you know, before show, before I play, or
I don't drink at all.
you know.
Drink coffee and bubbly water. Get made fun of all the time.
What's that? Bubbly water.
Yeah, bubbly water. You know.
Sparkling water?
Yeah, sparkling water. You
Well, every now and then, I don't want to drink too much because that memory thing I was talking about could get rid of that. So I don't want to test it. Yeah, I don't want to test it. you know, I don't mind throwing down a gin and tonic before I get on stage, but I don't have to.
Just
It-
something to
it's
get
not
your
a
blood
nerve.
going.
Yeah, it's not a nerve thing. It just, you know, but
After so many reps, you know, on the
Yeah,
stage,
it's
I'm
reps.
sure it's just, it's your job. You know?
absolutely.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. It was a good time.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you guys. We
Yeah,
got
for having
karaoke tonight, and we
Yeah.
got these two studs playing at the show.
We'll have
So
a good old
we're gonna have a
time.
good old time.
Heck yeah, we are. It's gonna be fun. You should come out and see us tonight.